bringing you another edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is on our sideline. Pass to Embiid. Shoots over KD. And the shot goes in from Embiid. Greg, who would you choose as the best defenders of the NBA pick and roll?
That is a tough one. This will surprise some people. Nikola Jokic is one of the better big men defending the pick and roll, in part because of his instincts. You know, he doesn't impress me in terms of his physical attributes, but his mind, the ability to anticipate, having a sense of how perimeter players play the game. He's a guy that's terrific. I'll give you an oldie but goodie in Andre Iguodala. He's still terrific. And I pick bigger guys because you've got to be able to switch that and guard smaller players. And, you know, at the center and the swing position, those are two guys that still are very reliable.
Back to Durant. Over Harris. And that one's good. Durant.
Focus, intense focus. Durant has bundles of it. Once he catches the rock, the first thing on his mind is let it go.
Now here's Simmons.
Oh, that was worth the price of admission.
And, you know, whenever Simmons gets a chance to show off his insane bounce, he takes advantage of it, really demonstrating how lethal he is in the air.
Here is Harden. There's the three. Green with the rebound.
And you talk about the perfect veteran wing player. Danny Green's right at the top of that list. Solid defense, good shooter, and plays within himself. And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. Not there.
Durant, no good. And Greg, the experiences that Danny Green has had over the course of his terrific career, it's hard to match.
I mean, he's won multiple titles in his career, done so in different places with different types of teams. He's seen it all and knows what it takes to succeed.
In the corner, it's Harris. Fires the three. He's off on that one. And it's Philadelphia the other way. Pass to Curry. Shoots the three. Sinks the triple.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
You're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Yep, that one goes.
What a find by Griffin. He's a lot more skilled as a passer than he gets credit for as far as power forwards go. He has terrific vision. Oh, reversed it home. That was pretty.
Agreed. The agility on display.
Yes, sir. Power and grace. That had it all.
And the Nets making a change here. And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
And when he first came into the league, Blake Griffin's dunking made headlines. And while I'm sure he enjoyed that, he was also eager to show that there was more to his game.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Thanks. Yeah, the Nets head coach and I were able to chat. One player he feels they can shake off his game was Joel Embiid. Coach told me he's a great player, but he can get in his own way if you frustrate him. Get him thinking about something other than the game. That's what we have to do. And see if Embiid can avoid distractions and keep focused tonight. Guys?
Thank you, David.
Yeah, Embiid plays with really good effort, and he plays with an effervescence that's contagious, and it's really endearing for a guy of his size.
And you know, Greg, in the past, Griffin felt at times criticized as being a one-dimensional player.
I tell you, Kevin, I think he's answered those critics. You look at his passing and his development as a shooter, one of the more complete offensive players in the league.
Clock at 6. Another shot. And Simmons with the lay-in. Simmons got 10.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now, here is Irving. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Simmons inside. And it's sent back by KD. To the middle. Here's Brown. Green with the block.
Excellent defender is Danny Green. He's instinctual, and he's got great court awareness defensively.
A nice shot by Harris.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
And again, no good by Brooklyn. Durant with the steal. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Philadelphia.
Guys, their penetration has been outstanding. I mean, it's actually been great. They're really finding those holes in the defense.
Did you just see what I saw? I mean, that move was out of this world.
Executed to perfection, Greg. I mean, he had the rim in his sights and was not going to be stopped.
And finishes with force. Boy, you got to love that.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
From 10 feet out, nice spin off the left rim and in. Simmons got 12.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
It's Harden with the drive. The kick out to Brown. The Nets working the ball around now. Embiid with the steal. Here's Simmons. The rebound by the Nets. Green up on top. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Harden outside. Driving the lane.
And the league's preeminent practitioner of the step-back three, James Harden, is as good as it gets. And, you know, like the skyhook, an unguardable shot. And paired with his dribble drive, a two-move torture chamber.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
Pass to Embiid. From the arc. Harden grabs the miss.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
And thanks to that step back, Harden already the all-time leader in unassisted three-point shots.
And not to mention four-point plays. And up until recently, teams built elaborate offenses to create their three-point looks. Harden the first to do it one-on-one with volume and efficiency.
Offensive rebound. Simmons inside. He's got 12. 4 on the clock. Another miss by Philadelphia. Harden outside. Into the lane. And the jam by Harden.
Ferociousness from Harden, looking like he wants to tear the rim off.
And Philadelphia decides to take their first timeout right here.
And it's kind of the running joke when you think of James Harden, often maligned for his lack of effort defensively, but quite honestly, I thought he improved a great deal a season ago.
And, you know, Greg, I observed the same thing. His overall commitment was better. And not just steals and blocks either. I'm just talking about his awareness, his commitment to that end of the floor. It was a focal point. If he continues on that track, I think he's going to make an impact at that end as well.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, thanks. Since the Nets acquired Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, the franchise has gone from being an up-and-comer to a potential powerhouse in the East. That's necessitated changes on the bench and on the court. The Nets have added some new veterans. The time is now for Brooklyn to stand up and make its move in the East. Kevin, back to you.
Well, we'll see how they do. David, thank you. Here is Harden after the made shot from Joel Embiid. Harden with it. Now guarded by Simmons. Harris outside. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Harris has got 6.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give him from behind the arc.
A nice shot by Simmons.
Boy, he's a real bully inside. I mean, you forget sometimes that Simmons is 6'9", 6'10", with nice touch. It's a nice combination near the basket.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn.
And what a factor Ben Simmons is on the floor. Does so much for this team in every facet of the game. He's a triple-double threat whenever he suits up.
And Embiid has got the ball here for the Philadelphia 76ers. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. And it's Green missing.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
And it's Simmons penetrating. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Excellent concentration that time by the 6'10" Simmons. Very good at completing these chances despite the defense's best efforts.
Nets trailed by 6. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds.
Yeah, you won't see him miss many dunks unless you've got somebody right in his face, as was the case there on that possession.
A precision pass for Curry, also excellent at seeing his guys when they're open.
Harris outside. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. Curry outside. And the last shot before the buzzer is off.
And, you know, it's all.
And so it's Philadelphia ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. Their defense has been active and effective. Right back after this break. And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. Outside Irving. From outside the arc. That one no good. And Philadelphia the other way now. And it's Simmons penetrating. And looking back at what was a stellar career, Greg, if there was one thing you could have done different, do you have anything on your mind?
You know, I would have loved to have had the opportunity to finish my career in New York. That was a special place, a special time. Unfortunately, that didn't transpire, but that's the one thing that stands out. That and obviously not winning a championship.
I can understand both of those.
Yes.
Now here's Simmons following the miss by Kyrie Irving. Curry with a wide open look. The rebound by KD.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
On the wing, Harden. Takes the 3. And the Nets miss again.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Philadelphia leading by 12. On the wing, Green. Back to Simmons. 76ers moving the ball around. Embiid. And Embiid throws it down. That gives him the double-double. 11 points and 11 rebounds.
You got to recognize Simmons is a pass-first guy, which is why you can't leave somebody open around him.
And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Here's Harden. And the layup's good off the glass. Harden's got 13.
It doesn't really matter if you body Harden up. He's committed to scoring the basketball, and his concentration allows him to do so.
The drive by Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
Just rubbing it in their faces with that dunk.
He is never going to take his foot off the pedal.
And that's terribly demoralizing for a defense, guys. I mean, they know he's going to keep coming and coming and coming, and that they may not have an answer for him.
It's good. He's got 6.
Tell you what, that defense was physical, and yet Durant, with great balance and composure, just stayed with it.
Green left side. It's stolen by Harris. Harden right side. On its way from Irving for 2. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him.
Probably wasn't the shot they were looking for, but they'll take the bucket. Well, you can be the judge of if it's fair or not, but Kyrie Irving has earned himself the reputation of being moody, to say the least.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes that sword cuts both ways. Sometimes it's the players, sometimes it's the media, and the media's perception. It's a combination of the two. Clearly, Kyrie can sometimes go off on tangents and come from left field in interviews. I mean, he's not the only player, present or past, that's been guilty of that. One thing you can't deny, though, is this guy loves the game. And it's a matter of continuing to mature and grow as a leader. Well, I say give him more time, and he'll refine himself in that area. Boy, the quickness by Simmons, breathtaking. So good at blowing by whoever's trying to stay in front of him.
Up top, Durant. Simmons inside. Shamet with the steal. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, we all know that there are some people who dislike James Harden's style of play. They're bored watching him shoot free throws. He said, "I see how teams guard me and find ways to exploit it. I just outthink the game, and I'm faulted for it." Kevin, that may be, but it's hard to argue with the results. Back to you.
You're right, one of the top scorers in league history, David. Thanks for that report.
Well, you look at Durant, and it's obvious. He feels like he's got so much more to prove. I mean, he's as driven a player as you'll find in this league. That's part of his greatness.
And as expected, Kevin Durant sitting out all of last season, recovering from the Achilles injury. Glad to see him back on the floor.
I agree with you, and it was absolutely a no-brainer for Kevin to sit out the season. That type of injury, you give it all the time you need, and the Nets knew that. They knew when the deal was done that he was going to most likely miss the season. And yet, they did the right thing. And when you have a guy like KD, you want to make sure you're not rushing him back. You want him fully ready when it's time for him to go.
And so it's Brooklyn with it after the Sixers pick up 2. And the Nets miss again.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this week. They've asserted their will of taking control on the glass.
just rubbing it in their faces with that dunk.
He is never going to take his foot off the pedal.
And that's terribly demoralizing for a defense, guys. I mean, they know he's going to keep coming and coming and coming, and that they may not have an answer for it.
Now, here is Irving. Just 5 on the clock. Blocked again.
Well, I admire the fact he's trying to power through this rough stretch, but on occasion you'll have periods like this. Boy, he knows he should have knocked that one down, especially with the defense not giving much of an effort.
Out of bounds, Philadelphia takes possession. There's 14 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Now here's Simmons. Drives to the hoop. Lays it up off the glass. Simmons got 13 points here in the second half alone.
And, you know, guys, we know Simmons most enjoys getting others involved, but he's showing you he can have huge nights himself as well.
And so... And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. And here's Simmons. He'll bring it up for the Philadelphia 76ers. They lead by the biggest margin of the game, 15 points. There's the drive. And Simmons slams it in.
Simmons is driving inside. I'm telling you, he's going to sky up for the flush. Getting to the bucket in no time.
It's Harden with the drive. Makes that one his 6th of the night, shooting a very healthy 6 for 9.
I love the spirit he's shown tonight, particularly on the offensive end.
Boy, I tell you what, the hole would be a lot deeper if he wasn't being as efficient as he's been so far.
Inside, Green, no luck.
Yeah, and that was lining up to be a huge alley-oop, but they just couldn't quite connect.
And you know, guys, always a tough catch on the lob. Placement and timing have to be close to perfect.
Now here's Simmons. Over Durant. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And you rarely see the vision and playmaking of Ben Simmons in someone that size. That you can put him up there with Magic, LeBron, and Penny Hardaway in terms of those taller playmakers.
Yeah, you're spot on there, Greg. I mean, he's unique, really unique and gifted in that regard. And with all great passers, there are a couple of things they do well. One is they see a play or two ahead. They anticipate and throw the ball where it should be going, anticipating that. And the other thing is the timing with which they make their passes. It's usually right at the right time, the opportune time for a teammate to score on the catch. You know, knocking down the three, guys, that's one of the premier three-point gunners in the NBA, Joe Harris.
Puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on him.
And you know, guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going.
For three, Harris. Harden. Back to Irving. The three-pointer, no good.
You know, he's just not taking good shots, not taking smart shots, forcing up a lot of low percentage jump there.
Pass to Embiid. Beyond the arc. Outside for Simmons. And the wide open shot from Green. The basket good off the assist from Simmons.
Boy, this is Green's game in a nutshell. He is an efficient catch-and-shoot player.
KD with it. Now defended by Embiid. And the jam by Kevin Durant.
And watch out, you don't bring the whole basket down on top of you, young fella.
I don't think he ever wanted to let go of the rim.
Well, you got to make that moment last. Enjoy it for as long as you can.
Back to Simmons. Nice defense from KD.
Boy, patrolling the paint well, protecting the rim. That's exactly the kind of defensive effort you need against him.
Simmons with it. We know how important the draft is, Greg. It can shape an organization. Talk about some of the best draft day deals of the last couple.